Hi everybody. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to calculate the percent composition of elements within a compound. Now, in order to complete this and follow along, you will need to have a periodic table out along with a calculator. And I will be going over examples in your packet of fun. So percent composition is very similar to finding your percent that you get on a test. So it's called the percentage by mass of each element in a compound. So to intro this, if you were to find a percent on a test, say you got a 70 out of 84, your percent is not a 70%. It's not just whatever number ends up on top of the bottom number. When you calculate your percent on a quiz or a test, you actually divide these two numbers and then you multiply it by 100. So that's how you determine basically the percent of correctness of what you earn on a test versus your percentage of wrongness. So when you divide this, 70 divided by 84, multiply it by 100, and the answer here, that would be an 83% on a test or a quiz. Now, when we find the percent composition of elements within a compound, we do a very similar thing. If there are different elements within a compound, you do the partial over the total. So it's called percentage by mass. So we do have to find the molar mass of the compound, and then you do the mass of one element over the total mass, multiply it by 100, and then that's the percentage of that element. So on this next slide, it gives you those steps. It says to find the percentage by mass of each element in a compound, we must find the molar mass of each type of element. We need to find the total molar mass of the compound, and then we divide the part over the whole, multiply it by 100 to get the percent. So this is your equation that you want to use for percent composition. So it's the molar mass of whatever element I ask you about, or if I just have you find the percent composition, you're going to do the molar mass of every element in the compound. So we have the molar mass of whatever element we're talking about divided by the total molar mass of the compound, and then to get the percent, you multiply it by 100. So in your packet of fun, this is page 10. It says calculate the percent composition of each element in H2SO4. So if we're talking first about each element in the compound, I will want to list each element in the compound. So we have hydrogens, and sulfur, and oxygen. And for hydrogen, there are two of them. For sulfur in the compound, there is only one of them. And then oxygen, there are four of them. Now we want to look up their masses on the periodic table. And we want to find the molar mass of each of these elements in the compound. We also want to find the total molar mass. The molar mass of a hydrogen is 1.008. So if we do 2 times 1.008, that's 2.016. For a sulfur, it's just whatever mass it says on the table, since there's only one sulfur in the compound. And sulfur's mass is 32.07, so that equals 32.07. And then finally, oxygen, there are four of them, but each oxygen has a mass of 16. So 4 times 16, that's equal to 64. Now, before we do the next step, where we do partial divided by total, we have to figure out the total. So if this is the mass of each of the atoms of each element in the compound, we have to add all of these up. So I'm going to add the 64 with the 32.07 and add that to the hydrogens, 2.016. Now the total molar mass of this compound is equal to 98.086. Simply divide by the total molar mass for each of these things. So I'll go through and I'll just put a little division sign in. Divide, divide, divide. And we're dividing by the same number every time. 98.086. Should probably also write that we need to multiply it by 100. All right, so we have 2.016 divided by the total, which is 98.086. And then multiply that by 100. And that's equal to 2.05. In terms of the decimal places, you can go to 1 or 2 decimal places. Just be sure to round properly. I'll go to 2 decimal places. So I'll put 2.06%. And I always put whatever element I'm talking about after it. So because it's a really long line here, it's just a lot easier if you throw the element there as well. So we have percent hydrogen. That's the percent of sulfur in the compound, and that was oxygen. And that is how you calculate percent composition or percent by mass of an element in a compound. Have a wonderful day.